My name's Danny Hopkins, I'm editor of Practical Classics magazine, and we're here at the Bicester Heritage site with a beautiful heritage vehicle. This is a Ford Model A. Built between 1928 and 1931, they made almost 5 million of these babies in 4 years flat. No other car was produced in such volumes in such a short period of time till the Ford Mustang. It's a real slice of history. And what's more, it's a really practical proposition. More practical than an Austin 7, can keep up with modern traffic. So if you want to get your hands on one, here's how. As with most cars, let's start with the body. The fenders. Check along the inside lip. It should feel nice and straight and clean. If it isn't and it's been filled, you might find that starts to split up later on as you drive it. Check all the way along. Again, everything's available. It's not going to break the bank, but you don't want to be doing that kind of work if you've spent money in the first place. The most important thing to do on all Model A's is to check that the chassis isn't bent, because that's proper expenditure if you need to get it done. And you do that by just looking at the doors. If the door's hanging straight, that's a good sign. If it's hanging squiff, then you might find that the chassis underneath is bent. Another way of checking that is to look along the coach line. If the coach line is wrong, again, the alarm bell should be going off. Check along the rear fenders as well, all the way around. Get down on your hands and knees, look at the chassis, make sure there isn't serious corrosion. It's not a disaster if there is, everything's available, but the checking of this car is basically about whether you want a restoration project or not, whether you want to have that kind of expenditure. If you don't, you can use it all as a good negotiating point. Okay, another key aspect to check out is the engine. The Model A had 2 engine types. UK cars built at Trafford Park had the 2.8 litre 4-pot. US spec cars like this one had the 3.2 litre 4-pot. Now the 2.8 was designed as a 2.8 to pass through tax legislation. It's generally acknowledged not to be powerful enough for the job, so a lot of UK cars have been retrofitted with the US spec 3.2. It's a good idea if you want to use it a lot. And it's one of those engines that will wear its poor condition on its sleeve if you want to buy one. So if it sounds like a tractor, negotiate. A little originality tip here, because originality is quite important to some people. 2-blade fan, very original. All the numbers can be found in here as well, so check that against the paperwork. They all match, and it's a really good car. Even if it's been restored like this one, if they all match, that's worth a premium. By the way, this one was restored back in Texas as it has been flown back across the Atlantic. That's how authentic it is. But it's a fantastic engine bay, really easy to work on. Nice, powerful, solid lump. Makes a good noise when we go for a drive, and we'll see that in just a second. Okay, welcome to the office, and what a fabulous office it is. Now, the Model T is quite a difficult car to drive because the pedals are all over the place, they're all in the wrong places. The Model A can be said to be the first of the modern era Fords. It could be almost said to be the first of the modern era cars. All the pedals are in the places that you'd recognise, so it's got clutch, brake and accelerator over there. There's still some stuff that you wouldn't recognise, of course. There's an advance and a retard handle here, so you'd retard the ignition when you start the engine and advance it as you drive further and faster. There's a hand throttle here, which is kind of helping when you start as well. Kind of ancient version of cruise control, if you like. That's the choke there. It's more of a kind of petrol pump thing. We won't need to use that now because the engine's warm already. Handbrake, ignition obviously, and then the niftiest thing of all, the thing I like the best about the interior here, that little button down there on the bulkhead, that's the starter button. You do it with your toe. But it's all fantastic, very easy to drive. Again, you could use this car every day if you really wanted to, and it holds its own at 50, 60 miles per hour. And with that, I think we should take it for a drive. So this is vintage motoring at its absolute finest. It's so easy to use. A lot of people say they don't want to get involved in cars from the 1930s, even the 1920s, because it's all a bit too difficult. But when you're in a car like this, put yourself on a B road and just watch the countryside floating by. It's absolutely beautiful. Well sorted, goes where you point it, the brakes pull you up when they should do. All those good things. If it doesn't do that, then you need to find out why. Don't assume that just because the car's a car from the 1920s or 30s, it's going to be bad at stopping or bad at going around corners. This is neither. This is just great fun. 3-speed gearbox, but the ratios are really nicely spaced. We're in second gear at the moment and bimbling along at 20 miles an hour. Third gear takes you all the way up to 50, 55, holds the road perfectly. I mean, it's mass produced. This isn't a specialist vehicle. The one problem with getting involved in vintage motoring is that when you get back into your car to go to the shops or to take the kids to school, it all seems a little bit dull. This is absolutely fantastic. In fact, I'd say it's completely addictive. No wonder they sold 5 million. It's absolutely brilliant.